You should get... Hey, who can I contact to do these, to make these filters?
There has been an explosion of fat-affirming, fat activists on TikTok who do not care about diet, about exercise, and are happy to be obese.
I have always loved being fat.
A lot of times you'll hear them posting about what they eat. You'll hear them posting about how they're not in a diet.
What I eat in a day is somebody who weighs about the same as a 3-seater sofa, who's just trying to live the best life.
You'll hear them boasting about their sexuality, boasting about the amount of options they have, and boasting about the amount of men that they can pull.
Sexually, I can probably have whatever the guy I want to. Your man is probably in my DMs, and I could have had him as a body literally last week if I wanted to.
Personally, I think this is all an attempt to try to create a space where women, no matter what their body type, can feel confident, can feel beautiful, and can feel like they are a 10.
So what if I'm fat as hell, but I'm fine as well?
Fat son. I said what I said, and I meant what I said.
However, despite the effort to make all women feel beautiful, desirable, accepted, and like supermodels, the reality is not all women are treated the same, and they're not all desired the same. In fact, there are countless stories and examples of plus-size women who actually have a really hard time in the dating and mating market.
Like, dating as a fat woman is incredibly stressful, and it's also just difficult and hurtful 99% of the time.
And it really goes down to this. Men, at the end of the day, care about weight. Although there is this push for women to be able to find beauty in no matter what size and dress size you are, there's certainly a push for that among women. In reality, men still care. Men still care about your dress size, and you can call it misogynistic, you can call it misogynoir, you can call it patriarchal, you can use whatever term you want. But men, especially men who have options or the more desirable men, generally care about a woman's dress size. And this is just one of those things that we have not really been able to get around. However, this does not change the fact that there are still fat-affirming date coaches out there who swear that they can get plus-sized obese women to specifically get attention and dates from high-value men. I want to turn your attention to this TikToker who is a luxury dating coach for plus-size women, and she makes it very clear that you are not to settle on a broke man and that you should go only for men who have resources. She goes on to show different videos of her going on luxury dates, getting luxury bags. She even gets Botox paid for, and food, and you know, she's just living the life of a sugar baby. But here is the thing. Sexual access does not mean marital access. Just because a man will have sex with you and may even buy you gifts to have sex with you does not mean that he intends to take you home and make you his wife. What I noticed about this dating and relationship coach for plus size women was that she talks all about how to get dates, how women can get dates, how they can specifically get attention from high earning men. And truthfully, this is possible, even though it is obviously very true out there that there is bias against plus size women, especially rich men. Rich men generally don't want to marry a plus size woman. That doesn't mean that they won't sleep with these women. That doesn't mean that they won't lay down with them. So the idea of a plus size girl having luxury dates, yeah, she may have a guy who will take her out and buy her a couple of things and be a sugar baby in her case. But I've yet to see a successful plus size marriage coach, right? A woman who is specifically targeting plus size women who want to marry rich men. I've yet to see that. And again, we all know the reason. The reason is because a lot of men out there, especially men with means and men with resources, are not attracted to morbidly obese bodies.
A fat woman is the equivalent of what a broke dude is.
It's considered misogynistic, it's considered disrespectful, it's considered rude. If you don't want to be commodified, then don't commodify. If you don't want to be judged based upon your body type, based upon your size, based upon your weight.
Plus size, dark skinned black women friends, the dating for us is shit. And that is not our fault.
I agree, you shouldn't, but then don't put these false expectations on men.
You can still rob these men, you know what I'm saying? These men will still give you money even though they're not hitting. Hold them up for extortion too.
If you don't want a person judging you based upon your physical attributes, then you should not do the same for the man. But unfortunately, what happens is sometimes you have these lovely ladies who want to be accepted the way they are and think that it is disrespectful for a man to have a preference. But then when those men go back and say, okay, well, if you're going to commodify me, if you're going to be dating me just for my pocketbook, I require this and I require this in return. If you want to marry me for my pocketbook, I require this in return. All of a sudden it's misogynistic. All of a sudden it's disrespectful. And that's why I'm like, to me, that's not consistent. As a woman, you have the right to be whatever size that you want. If you want to be morbidly obese, have at it. I don't recommend it. I recommend that you find the weight that is healthiest for you. I'm not saying you got to be size 0 or 4 or to find the weight that is healthiest for you. That's your choice. However, just be clear about what that is going to mean in your dating and relationships. Just be clear about that. That's all I'm saying. Let's just be realistic. You have the right to be plus size if you want to. Just understand that if you are attracted to men and you want a particular kind of man, you also want to understand what they want. And if you are specifically going to commodify a man and say, I'm only going to date a man who makes this amount of money, don't be offended and don't be surprised if he looks back at you and say, okay, you're looking at me for my money, I'm looking at you for your dress size. Unfortunately, this is what happens when you start to commodify people and just see them for what they can do monetarily, or see them for what you can get out of them, versus seeing them for the whole person. As a woman, a plus size woman, you can absolutely date, and you can maybe even date a rich man. But if you want to marry a rich man, then you want to be clear that it's likely going to be harder for you given some of the different societal pressures and just given the preferences that men want. If you don't want to be commodified that way, and if you think it's misogynistic, or if you think it's rude that someone dare judge you for your dress size, then don't judge the men for their height, or don't judge them for their pocketbook. Look at the more internal qualities, which, by my opinion, are more important anyways. But what do you think? Do you agree or do you disagree? Let me know. Leave your questions, comments, concerns in the comment section below. Thank you so much for listening if you've gotten this far, and we'll talk later. Bye.